Hello everybody and happy Monday. Coming to you with another video today just to quickly discuss mental health. Today is Global Mental Health Day and hopefully you'll be seeing lots of different content being put out to help people be more aware of mental health issues in general, and especially to, help those not only dealing with mental health, but help those who have a loved one dealing with mental health issues. I think the big word in this area that a lot of people need to adopt is compassion. Compassion for those who deal with the mental health issues that you love, right? Also compassion for yourself if you happen to be one of those many, many people who have mental health issues. Compassion for one another is the driving force in helping alleviate the suffering across the board, but especially in the world of mental health. Many of us run around this world in a way where we have zero compassion for the people around us, right? Most people never stop to think that when they experience a person acting irrationally, that they are more than likely having a mental health issue, whether that be a temporary one or part of a really long-standing mental health issue. Compassion is going to allow you, as the experiencer of someone having those problems, to let them go easier, to look at them and say, how am I different from that person? Who am I to judge them? And who am I to say that they're a bad person because of what they're going through or what they're dealing with? Now, obviously, we see people doing horrendous things and completely ridiculous things because of their poor mental health. And of course, some people are way further along the line in mental health distress than others. But the important thing is, again, whenever you can, to treat everybody with an equal mind, to treat everybody with compassion, to understand that the reason why many people are the way they are is because they have not addressed the issues that they are dealing with in their daily life, and especially in their own mind and perception of the world. So what can you do? Well, from the perspective of a person that has dealt with mental health issues, the one main thing you must do is continue the journey forward. When you are depressed and when you're anxious, you feel as though you cannot move forward. You have hit a roadblock where the world has become so overwhelmingly distressful to you that you can't, or you feel that you can't do anything about it. I've struggled for many years, many, many years. And the most important part of that entire struggle was the day that I had decided, listen to those words, I decided I didn't want to suffer anymore. Now, that decision did not make the problems magically go away. What that was, though, was the seed to start the whole growth process. It starts you in the direction where you realize this is not how you should be living, and there is something you should do about it. And it may take a very long time for you to then figure out what you should do about it. But at least the seed was planted. The seed was planted to address your issues, to face your fears, and to move forward in the right direction. I promise you that if you make the commitment to yourself to change and to tackle many of the things that have been ailing you through the course of your life, you will see progress. Whether it's slow or fast is up to whomever, right? Mostly it's up to you and how much work you put into it. But there's hope. There's hope. And that's something you should always hang on to, is that there's no reason to think that you're a hopeless case, because you're not. For the people that are living with others that have mental illness issues, again, your role is to be the one that is compassionate. Be the one that endures the hardships going on in the mind of another. Be aware that you may do things that you don't think are a problem, but they can be for a person that is struggling. The best thing you can do is to remain positive, to encourage growth, but don't force it, to be someone that listens and supports, and to be someone that loves that person no matter what. It can be very painful to watch somebody endure hardship and struggle. It's definitely painful to also go through all of those things. But again, without really making an effort, you can't really expect much to be different. For either party, the effort starts none other than in the mind, which is the fun, paradoxical part of our minds in general. We not only create the problems that we have most of the time, but we can also solve the problems we have most of the time. Now, just to be clear, I obviously don't speak of all mental health issues. I know that there are many out there, and many, unfortunately, cannot be resolved through simple means. Some illnesses take a lot of effort to cure, or to quell, if you will. But for the most part, there's a lot of unnecessary suffering out there in this world. And a lot of it can easily be cured if we just start acting right. If we just start taking more time out of our day to not just run away from our problems and, dive into mind-numbing acts just to push it all away. The important thing is to stand up for yourself and fight. Remove yourself from things if you have to. Take care of yourself. I know this all sounds so simple to say, but think of how many of us don't do this. We worry so much about what am I going to miss if I take the time out of my day to address my mental health. What are you going to miss? It's a great question. You're going to miss your entire life is what you're going to miss. It's okay if you don't see your friends for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It's okay if you have to remove hobbies out of your life. It's okay if you have to stop watching TV, stop going on the internet, make changes in your life. Change is okay. People fear, oh, what happens if I don't see these people or if I don't do these things? More than likely nothing. It's that fear, though, that keeps you held down. It's that fear that what if I do this, what happens? What if you don't address your state of mind is a more important question. What if that happens? Do you not still have the potential to lose all of those things? If your mind becomes too out of control, do you think you can lose your friends? Do you think you can lose your family? Your house, your job, everything? Absolutely. Two sides to the same coin, my friends. Don't be afraid to lose anything. As a matter of fact, you hear these sayings all the time and you don't really think about them. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose by addressing negativity in your life. You may lose many things along the way, but when you come out of it, you just realize I have lost maybe many physical things. I may have lost connections with people or objects or old hobbies or habits. But what you've gained is priceless. What you've gained is your life back. What you've gained is the ability to reintegrate yourself into the world with your friends, family, coworkers, your hobbies, your this, your that, and just enjoy them so much better. You gain that, and I hate using the word gain for my own personal reasons, but you gain that happiness back. You realize all of that positivity was there, but it was clouded by this dark black cloud of misery and depression and anxiety, problems. You cannot be afraid to help yourself. You can't be afraid either to face some really dark events that may have happened in your life. If you don't face them, they only tend to remain with you. And what do? They eat away at you endlessly. Endlessly. Sound familiar? They pull you down and down and down, and you get tired and frustrated and upset. And it makes you feel horrible. You have to move forward and fight. Be compassionate to yourself. Remember, you're not missing anything by removing yourself from environments, removing yourself from relationships, removing yourself from anything. You're not losing those moments. Because why? You remain in that state of mind and you're with those people, those things, those whatever. You're still miserable. What's the fun in that? That's how you want to experience life? I didn't think so. Take care of yourself. You're not going to miss anything. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll probably be one of the many people awaiting their death of their body, wishing they had done something about it earlier because they feel that they have not lived. They feel as though they wasted the opportunity to enjoy human life, regardless of its difficulties, its setbacks, its innumerable amount of challenges. They regret not seeing that the beauty of life itself in all of its challenges and hardships is to endure, is to overcome, is to grow. It's to look at life and just be able to laugh. Even in the most insane time, and just say, this is where I'm at, this is my reality, and although the conditions may not be favorable, I am alive to experience it. Death is one of those things that haunts a lot of people, whether it's the death of their loved ones or even contemplating their own death. But why think about dying when most of us have never even thought about living? How do you want to live? Suffering is death. Why? Because suffering removes life out of you. Refuse to die and fight to live. Be compassionate. Be understanding. Be loving. And most of all, just don't add to the suffering of others. Remind yourself every day that even if people treat you poorly, it's probably because they're suffering. There have been so many great teachers that have taught this. So many good ones. And there's a big one that's in the backyard of a lot of people, but they don't even know he's a guest at their party. Anyway, this is the fun of free speaking, huh? Things just come out when they want to. So what started as what was supposed to be a short video turned into 20 minutes, and that's okay. But again, just be aware. Be aware. Be aware of your own mind. Be aware of the mind of others, and live compassionately. People have it rough. And if you think you have it rough, remind yourself, be grateful, look around you. A lot of people like to read the news. They see the headlines. You could be a lot worse than what you are. You could also be a lot better. So, do what you must. But have a good day. I love everyone, and I really do hope that if you are suffering or you know somebody that is suffering, that you find it in your heart to either love yourself or love someone else. At the end of the day, we're really no different from each other. Really, really no different. So see that. See that in yourself. Know that you're not alone in your suffering. And if you need to see that in others, know how you have suffered and understand how that person might be feeling. Again, put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in their shoes. Anyway, enjoy the day. Have a great one, and see you next time.